Sometimes the toughest critics are the biggest fans. Today, we're digging into a really passionate critique of the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. We're going to look at what happens when a story people absolutely fell in love with starts to feel more like a product than a passion project. Right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. This isn't coming from a place of hate. Not at all. It's coming from a place of, heartbreak. It's that feeling you get when something you truly loved, something you were so invested in, starts to feel like it's slipping away. So, to really understand where this criticism is coming from, you have to see the level of dedication we're talking about. This wasn't just some casual viewer. This was someone who was, and I mean this, all in. Just look at this. We're talking about a year and a half spent building Mando's armor, wearing the helmet all day long at conventions. They even had a cardboard cutout. In their own words, they basically bought into a space cult for this guy. The love for the character, the lore, and the baby, it was absolutely real. So, what happened? Where did that incredible devotion start to crack? Well, this brings us to what feels like the central turning point, the moment when it seemed like the story took a back seat to something else entirely. Think back to the end of season 2. It was this beautiful, powerful, emotional goodbye, right? It felt like a perfect, natural conclusion to that chapter. But then, bam, they're suddenly reunited in a completely different show. And the feeling from this fan is that this reunion just felt forced, like a decision made not for the story, but to keep that super marketable duo together. Basically, to keep selling toys. And that single decision really sets the stage for the critique of the new movie. It's all about where these characters are now, and maybe more importantly, what's happened to the stakes of their entire story. This right here just nails the frustration. On one side, you have the potential for this gritty, cool bounty hunter story. But on the other side, you have the reality. He's still babysitting, he just does dad things. The argument is he can't do anything overtly cool or violent because he has his baby that's effectively, and I love this phrase, zip tied to his pocket. And here's the real problem with that, right? The stakes just evaporate. When your co-star is one of the most popular, most marketable characters on the planet, you can't really put him in danger. And if you know the green baby's always going to be okay, how can you ever really feel like Mando is in true life or death peril? And that concern about low stakes extends right to Grogu, too. The feeling is that his whole arc, his purpose in the story, has kind of run its course. And now, trying to give him little armor or push him into some hero's journey feels less like organic character growth and more like just grasping at straws to keep him around. So let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about Mando and Grogu. This is part of a much bigger argument about the entire Star Wars brand and how it's perceived today. And this analogy is just perfect. The idea is that Star Wars used to be a 5-star dining experience, a big screen event you planned your life around. But now it's become like those frozen mozzarella sticks you can just pop in the microwave at home. It's easy, it's always there, but that special feeling, that pedigree, it's just gone. There's actually a business term for this. It's called brand dilution. It's what happens when something that felt rare and special becomes common and overexposed. And the argument here is that that's exactly what's happened to Star Wars by shifting from a huge cinematic event to just this constant stream of, safe, at-home content. So from this fan's perspective, the whole identity of the brand has completely flipped. It's gone from being maybe 75% big screen event to 75% at-home comfort brand. It's become something reliable and cozy you watch on your couch, instead of something truly epic and game-changing you see in a theater. So what is this all really about? When you strip everything else away, what's the fundamental tension here? Well, it boils down to a classic conflict that you see in any huge creative franchise. The argument is that there's a predictable formula at play. Step 1, you create a fantastic character with a great story. Step 2, you accidentally create a super popular, incredibly marketable sidekick. Step 3, the priority shifts to keeping that duo together, no matter what, to sell merchandise. And finally, step 4, you end up sacrificing the main character's natural journey and the story's actual stakes. And really, that leaves us with this final, massive question. It's the core dilemma, isn't it? When a character becomes a billion-dollar bestseller, does their story still belong to the writers and directors? Or does it now belong to the marketing department, whose main job is to protect its most valuable asset? It's definitely something to think about.